Hey everyone, I just want to give you a quick PSA about Paragon 50. As many of you know, when you're climbing the Paragon ranks, you can put points into your Paragon tree. Now, the first two are very simplistic. One's a damage tree, one's a surviving slash tankier tree. As you can see here, this one I think is better for PvP, so I ended up equipping the survivor tree. And I have a Paragon reset cooldown for 4 more days. So unfortunately, I cannot take advantage of these two new trees that pop up when you get to level 50. Although I knew they were coming, I knew that I had a Paragon reset, so I wasn't too worried about it. But for those of you that are not quite 50 yet, be sure to get ready with your Paragon reset when you get to these extra 2 trees, because they are insanely important. So as I said, you're going to get a bunch of damage. You're going to get the damaging abilities that are going to help you clear through PvE on the Vanquisher tree. You're going to get a bunch of tanky stats and CC breaks and extra block and all that good stuff from the survivor tree. But with the treasure hunter tree, this is the tree that I suggest almost everyone take for the foreseeable future. Why? Well, it's just going to give you extra value when you're farming in the open world or dungeons or anything like that. It's just going to give you extra XP, extra chance to get loot and all that good stuff. Now, if you're planning on doing PvP a lot, I would suggest you go with another tree, which I'll go over in just a moment. But I just want to quickly show some of the things in this treasure hunter tree that I'm really looking forward to. So, first one, the Swift Learner. Now keep in mind that these little unique abilities, you must activate the tree in order for this to take effect. So right now, if I were to put points into the Treasure Hunter tree, but still keep this active, I would get the bonuses from Survivor and not Treasure Hunter. But the first one is the Swift Learner, 50% more experience gained from defeating elite monsters. This is just extra XP and will really be awesome in open world farming. This will probably up our experience rates by quite a bit, taking this little ability right here. And then this one's just going to be armor. This one's going to be resistance. This one's going to be damage. And this one is going to be potency. Nothing too special here. Just kind of bunch of points you have to dump into. You're going to need to go 15 into this to unlock these other 2. So this one will be your next one that you pick up after going for the damage. 50% extra gold from monsters. Really nice here. This will just give you extra value in terms of farming gold. And then once we get to this one, which is the next one I suggest that you go ahead and go for, you have to go 15 into resistance, and then you're going to go ahead and get the treasure find, which is 50% increased equipment drop rate from elite monsters in open world. This is going to be really amazing for those open world farm, making it even better to just do the Moon Clan library or a few other methods that are out there like the Realm or the Frozen Tundra farms. So you can see here we have 5, 6, and then we have additional 15. So that puts us at 21. Then we have 22. Then we have 37, 38. So we have 38 Paragon just to pick up all of these over here. And then what I suggest is going ahead and picking up this one, because you want the bonuses granted by Treasure Find and Lucky, which is going to be Treasure Find and Lucky right here, these 2. But this one isn't insanely important. It's going to be this one that you're going to want because it's going to increase your drop rate for items. This one's going to increase your globe drop rate, which not necessarily XP globes, because those have a static drop rate. They're not affected by this because you drop an XP globe rate if it's an elite monster or a yellow monster or an ancient elite monster, or you have an XP shrine, not necessarily like the conduit globes or the empowerment globes or things like that. That's what this is going to be affecting. So right here, this is going to give you an additional 25% to the treasure find, which is massive. So I highly recommend you go for this one, which this will put you at approximately Paragon 54 when you're able to pick up all of this. So this entire top row. And I highly suggest you go with all of this before you dump in points into this. And honestly, this one's not even that important. It's going to go ahead and affect those little bit of extra bonuses you get from conduit shrines and things like that. Still worth going for at the end though. You're going to go ahead and dump the potency, the lucky, and the life into this tree once you get to it. This is going to be massively important in order for you to go ahead and get some extra value when you're farming, specifically in the open world, because this will affect everywhere, but this one will only affect in outdoor areas. So keep that in mind, but highly recommended for you to pick up Treasure Hunter. The next one is going to be an insane one for PvP specifically. Now, the Survivor tree is also very good for PvP. So it really depends on what you're looking for. I think both are viable. The Vanquisher one is also very good, but the Gladiator one is definitely specifically tuned to battle players. What do I mean by that? Well, we have the uncontrollable effect. When struck by an effect that causes loss of control, you are immune to this effect, which cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. This is massive, especially for Crusaders, for example, out there mounting your horse. If you get hit by a bone pillar, you'll just be immune, which will be very, very important. Now, every class benefits from this, but just from my personal perspective, when I'm running in with a horse, getting knocked off my horse is very, very common from a bone pillar. This will prevent that at least every 30 seconds, which is oftentimes about once per life, assuming you're kind of going in and battling. So this is a really nice effect. Then we have life and we have potency. Potency is actually very good in PvP due to extending your duration of CC and leads and all that good stuff, basically extending your duration of your debuffs. And then you have the quick-witted, to reduce the duration of loss of control effects against you by 10%. This is very, very good. It's kind of like a additional bonus on top of your high resistance if you happen to have it. Then we have resistance, which is also very, very good. And we have Trapper here. This was actually kind of interesting. I believe this is more for the ranged classes. I think that it's also very good for the melee classes, but it's definitely, I think, more of a kiting tool. So whenever you drop below 30% life, you'll leave a trap every 5 yards you travel over the next 6 seconds. And I don't know exactly what this trap does, because you can't really click on it or see as far as I know, but I imagine it's going to go ahead and mobilize a person when you go ahead and step on it. So that's really, really good for people who are chasing you out. Then we have the life one, and this is going to be just basic life. And then we have cheat death. Fatal attacks from players instead reduce your life to 1 and make you immune to stuns for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you recover to 60% life. Now, this is actually insane. So getting yourself 60% life every 120 seconds. I'm not sure if this resets after you die, but if you're able to live, I assume this is going to proc when you go ahead and proc Phoenix Ashes as well. And that's massive. So let's say you go into battle, you're going to proc Phoenix Ashes and you're going to have that shield. And then if you survive for 3 seconds, you immediately recover 60% HP. This is massive, massive game changer for PvP. I'm not exactly sure if that's exactly how it works, but I imagine it will. And then we have Rapid Recovery, reduces the cooldowns of Trapper Uncontrollable, which are these two right here. Down, which is instead of 240, 230, and instead of this one being 30, which is 20 seconds now, which is absolutely insane for the Uncontrollable. And then we just have a bunch of extra stats here in terms of damage, armor, life, and resistance, life, and potency, and then some more armor pen at the beginning here. So overall, Gladiator is going to be really nice for those PvP scenarios, but specifically, I think that everyone's going to get more value out of Treasure Hunter in their day-to-day activities, unless you literally are like not necessarily farming a lot and you're doing a lot of PvP, or you just really enjoy PvP. I highly recommend you go for Treasure Hunter. But that being said, if you are a damage dealer, you may want to stick with Vanquisher as well. Or if you're looking for a little bit more survivability in terms of overall tankiness, maybe Survivor is still the way to go. Now, we still have Soldier and Mastermind to check out when we get Paragon 150, but that is definitely very far into the future at this point in terms of like maybe a month or so. So we're going to have to stick to Treasure Hunter and Gladiator, Survivor, and Vanquisher. But I wanted to give you all a rundown of what it's like when you reach Paragon 50, because this is very important and you definitely want to swap into Treasure Hunter, assuming you're going to continue with your PvE farms. Hopefully that gives you some information and what to look out for when you unlock these new Paragon trees. Make sure to activate them. I know a lot of people out there don't activate them and you don't get the ability bonuses from that. So keep that in mind, and I will see you for the next video.